Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. In this video, we are comparing the JBI Spec KYB SSS cartridge kit for KTMs we are comparing that to the WP XACT Pro Cartridge damping system. I call it the WP XACT Pro damping system because this damper is called the twin chamber damper, is what is utilized in their WP cone valve forks, WP XACT Pro 7548 forks, WP XACT 6500s, and WP Xplor Pro 6500s, and WP Xplor Pro 7500s. So what I'm mainly referencing is the damping cartridge itself. So the damping cartridge, the compression assembly, and depending on the way WP set it up, will determine if there is a cone valve mid-valve inside of here or a shim style mid-valve inside of here. Regardless of the style, it is still a twin chamber closed cartridge fork. And we are comparing that to the very popular as well, KYB SSS twin chamber closed cartridge fork. Now, some of that is redundant in what I'm saying. I realize that, but not everybody realizes that the wording and how we name this stuff is interchangeable. So let's get right into it. These are both JBI Spec builds, and I'll show you the modifications we did to each of them and some of the differences between these two. So the similarities is that they're both twin chamber closed cartridge damping style forks. At the top of the fork, we have our compression assembly. Here's the KYB one. We got a pressure spring, free piston, a sub valve in their base piston. And on the WP version, we have our compression assembly up top as well. Their pressure spring, their free piston. Now, they don't utilize a sub valve, that is this piece here, stock. They utilize the compression posts that look like this. So we changed that out to the JBI titanium sub valve, which looks like this piece, and that will thread onto there. I'm in the middle of revalving these forks, so they're not fully built right now. And for comparison, this is the base piston out of this fork. So the next piece that really stands out is you can see that they have the spring tube design above the spring, versus the KYB utilizes what we call a spring perch. That is this piece here in white. It is made out of plastic and is the stock spring perch for KYB forks. On this fork, we have it updated or upgraded to the JBI Titanium Pro Perch. The reason we do that is that we feel when we compare the KYB to the WP offering, that the WP offering has much better bottoming resistance compared to the stock KYB cartridge system. Much of that comes from this spring tube design, and it also comes from the longer bottoming cone that is here. For reference, here is the stock bottoming cone on a KYB. You can see that this is just over twice the length. So what that means is when this cartridge head right here, or this piece right here, engages with our bottoming cone, or we can call it bottoming cylinder, it helps slow the fork down. But as you can see, the WP one is quite a bit taller, so it is going to engage sooner and for a longer duration of time, giving the WP fork better bottoming performance. The JBI Titanium Pro Perch, this piece here, it replaces the stock KYB spring perch. It is much more effective at slowing the fork down when it engages oil in the outer chamber, and it gives this fork a similar level of bottoming resistance to the WP fork. So you can kind of see what we've done here at Ride JBI. We noted that that WP fork did not have a subvalve inside of it, but the KYB one did. And the KYB forks are often known for how smooth and plush feeling that they have. So we created and applied our own subvalve to the WP system. And on the KYB system, we noticed it didn't have as good of bottoming resistance compared to the WP system. So we resolved that by updating the spring perch with a more effective one. Now keep in mind, both of these systems have been revalved to a custom spec. This setup is for a motocross setup here, and this also happens to be a motocross setup as well. But what I mean by that is that the internal valving, our base valve and our mid valve, have both been revalved to a JBI spec. And these are settings that we've come up with over time from testing, tuning, and development, meaning going out to the track, trail, or desert, depending on the settings that we are developing, and working with myself and different riders and getting feedback and doing that over and over and over. Always engaging our progress, meaning keep in mind what our benchmark is, where we started from, and then tracking how far along we've improved from there. Now keep in mind, both of these systems perform really well out of the box. The stock WP, let's say the stock WP XACT Pro system works damn well out of the box, regardless of the type that you buy, meaning if it's the cone valve, the XACT series, the Xplor series. And then the KYB setup works really well. Well, hard to say out of the box because it doesn't really come set up for a specific riding type, but it works really well with the hardware that's there. At Ride JBI, we feel like if you want to improve upon what's there, these are the mods that we would do and we are doing to that. And by doing so, it gives us a much more equal comparison now between the two damping systems. We think both of them work really well, and it's been a lot of fun testing them back to back. We have older videos on YouTube of us doing that, and we're going to keep doing that. In the meantime, though, I just wanted to show you guys some of the insides of what stuff look like, so you could get a visual on the hardware that we're testing and what's working inside of the forks as people ride and try our different JBI spec setups. We have complete details at ridejbi.com on the JBI Spec KYB SSS kit for KTM, Husqvarna, and gas bikes. And we also have product pages on the JBI Spec WP XACT Pro 6500 kits, Xplor Pro 6500 kits, and the XACT Pro 7548 Pro forks. All those are pretty similar forks, but they have some unique tuning and valving that we do for each one, and there's complete details on those product pages there. Common question I get is, which one do I prefer? And that's a really good question. And you know what? It tends to be whatever forks are on my bike at the time, I am just loving. Because it's been really fun testing these and seeing what our starting point was, which again was really good to begin with. And now when I ride each fork, I'm really pleased with the improvement that we did to each. We've got the WPs having a very smooth, fluid feeling fork, pretty much damn near smooth and plush as our KYB setups, while maintaining that good WP progressiveness and bottoming resistance. And on the KYBs, we're able to maintain their very smooth and plush feeling that they're known for, but give it that extra bottoming resistance and hold up that the WPs are known for. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.